Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're tackling something, well, a bit uncomfortable, but absolutely crucial. We're breaking down a medical guide derived from Dr. Thomas Bernard's insights on a silent physical crisis that thousands suffer from, but nobody really wants to talk about. Look, if you're sitting there right now, totally frustrated, feeling this immense pressure, but nothing is happening, just take a deep breath. You aren't imagining things, you are definitely not alone, and we're going to walk through exactly how to fix this together. All right, here's our roadmap. We'll cover the silent trap, hidden symptoms and dangers, the emergency protocol, the laxative mistake, and finally, prevention and solutions. Let's get into it. Part 1. The silent trap. Let's look at exactly how a blockage silently forms. First off, let's totally remove the stigma here. This is just a mechanical issue, okay? Not a personal failure. In the medical world, it's called a fecal impaction, or a fecalome. Basically, it's a massive, completely dehydrated block of stool that's gotten hard as a rock and stuck firmly inside the rectum. You know, you might think to yourself, wait, I was fine yesterday. But the reality is actually a lot different. This is literally a trap that sets itself slowly over up to 7 days. Days 1 and 2, you probably feel fine, but you just aren't completely emptying your bowel. Then, by days 3 and 4, the leftover matter just sits there, and your large intestine is doing exactly what it's supposed to do, right? It's absorbing water. So by days 5 to 7, that leftover mass is completely stripped of moisture. It turns into a dry, heavy stone. Think of it like trying to shove a literal solid rock through a narrow rubber tube. Normally, your intestine is like a flexible tube that expands easily to pass soft, hydrated stuff. But against a solid stone? No way. The tube stretches to its absolute limit and it just totally jams. The stone doesn't compress and your tissue just can't stretch any further. Section 2. Hidden symptoms and dangers. Let's navigate the danger zone. Now, here is where things get super tricky. Have you ever heard of overflow diarrhea? You might suddenly pass liquid and think, oh great, I've got a stomach bug. But actually, scratch that. It's just liquid stool squeezing past that rock-hard blockage. The absolute worst thing you could do here is take anti-diarrhea meds. That will literally paralyze your intestine and make the whole blockage so much worse. And the dangers inside your body compound really fast. Since your rectum and bladder are packed tightly together in your pelvis, this hard mass can physically crush your bladder. Believe it or not, people actually end up in the ER needing a urinary catheter just from this pressure. Plus, all that extreme stretching cuts off blood circulation to your living intestinal tissue. If you ignore it, you're looking at a complete obstruction, or worst case, a perforated intestine that leaks toxic waste into your abdomen. Talk about a life-threatening infection, right? Okay, Section 3, the emergency protocol. We've got a 4-step action plan. Listen, rule number 1, before we do absolutely anything else, stop pushing. Seriously, if you're straining with all your might, you're just injuring your internal tissues. You're causing painful swelling and basically wedging that dry stone in even tighter. So what do? Here's the exact medical protocol to get relief. We'll start with what you can do at home right this second, and then how to escalate to professional help if we need to. Let's break down step 1. Step 1 is your at-home intervention. You're going to need adult glycerin suppositories from the pharmacy. But here's the critical detail that almost everyone gets wrong. One single suppository is not going to cut it for a mass this size. You have to lie down on your side to take gravity out of the equation, then generously apply a water-based lube and carefully insert exactly 3 adult suppositories deeply right up against the mass. And here is the golden rule. You absolutely must stay lying on your side for at least 30 minutes. I know it's hard, but do not run to the toilet the second you feel an urge. The glycerin literally needs time to reach body temperature, melt down, and actually coat that dry stone. If you rush it, you'll just expel the unmelted suppositories, and that stone isn't going anywhere. Now, if that first try doesn't work, we escalate. Step 2. Get up, walk around for an hour to give your body a break, and then repeat that whole 3 suppository process. If 2 rounds of that fail, step 3, head to the ER. Don't be embarrassed. Trust me, they see this all the time. They'll use professional tools for a high-volume enema. And if it's still cemented in there, step 4 is a specialist performing a manual extraction under sedation. Boom, dangerous pressure instantly relieved. All right, section 4, the laxative mistake. It's time to identify your false friends. Once you're out of the woods with the immediate crisis, we have to look at what got you there. The source material gives a huge warning about over-the-counter stimulant laxatives. Sure, they give you quick, temporary relief, but they chemically irritate your intestinal lining and force artificial contractions. Keep using them, and your gut gets lazy. It literally forgets how to work on its own. The second you stop taking them, you're on a fast track right back to chronic constipation and another awful blockage. Which brings us to Section 5, Prevention and Solutions. Let's break this cycle for good. Real prevention is kind of a science. It means you absolutely have to prioritize high daily hydration, simply because water is the only thing that keeps stool soft as it moves through you. You need to track your daily physical activity and fiber and actively retrain your body to go to the bathroom at the exact same time every single day. And for sure, work with a digestive health specialist to build a plan you can actually stick to. Just to give you the full context of the source material we're looking at, Dr. Berner's presentation eventually pivots to a specific supplement. It's pitched as an 8,000-year-old deep-water superfood that supposedly clears toxic waste naturally without fiber or harsh chemicals. We're just laying out the source's claims here impartially, but it definitely highlights how much interest there is in finding natural alternatives to chemical laxatives. So as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this one thought. Knowing just how incredibly fast a silent trap can turn into a full-blown medical emergency, are your daily habits supporting your digestive rhythm, or are they silently building the next blockage? Seriously, what small change are you going to make today to protect your long-term gut health? Thanks for learning with us today on The Explainer, and hey, take care of your body.